This video is brought to you by Keeps. Stick around to hear more about the discount that they're providing to the entire upper echelon community. Here we go again. Are you ready for whiplash? Because there's whiplash. I don't think it will be prudent to re-explain everything in this video once again. It would take too much time, honestly, and thus, I'll just link the playlist down below. My last two videos cover this entire story arc and are kind of necessary to completely understand the new angle, but that being said, here is a really basic description. For years, an infamous hacker named John Yu has terrorized the Titanfall franchise. More recently, hackers intent on pushing Respawn to fix the Titanfall games attacked Apex Legends as well and took it down for about 24 hours with a message pointing to a website, savetitanfall.com. The administration behind that website claimed no involvement whatsoever and denied any affiliation. Later, they released a 40-page document that revealed who was really responsible, so it seemed, and condemned them for their actions. The document was highly detailed, sculpted, and designed, in my opinion, personally, for maximum damage. It utilized dozens of Discord screenshots, and while these were not explicitly false or manipulated snips, they were, at best, lacking context. I reported on this, I do not regret doing so, and I would do it all again, probably the exact same way under similar circumstances, but what I won't do, ever, is leave a story incomplete. This document radically changed the reputation for certain community members, mostly in a negative way, decidedly, and those community members deserve to see the complete story revealed. As of now, I believe a couple other creators have likely covered this already. The evidence was revealed in a data dump yesterday afternoon, I think, but having to actually sleep and get rest at some point, I couldn't get to it till today. Last bit of context here before really diving in, the document from the Save Titanfall administration claimed that two users, Dogecore and Mr. Stake on Discord, were responsible for the Apex Legends hack itself, and that two other users, P0358 and Redshield, administration for a certain Discord server, were aware and affiliated directly. What's true is that Dogecore and Mr. Stake were behind it, as in the technical expertise of the hack. That's the important thing to know. Sponsor time. I'll keep it short, sweet, and to the point. 2 out of 3 men experience hair loss before the age of 35. 95% of the people who watch this channel are men ages 18 to 45. Logically, the products I advertise in sponsor integrations would be targeted at that demographic. So here we are with Keeps. Keeps is a hair loss prevention treatment with more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors on the market. You can order and get treated directly from your home for a fraction of the cost when compared to other products, and they offer generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss treatments on the entire market. For a limited time, using the link down below in the description, you can get 50% off your first order. Again, that's 50% off your first order if you click the link down below in the description. Keeps can help prevent, even reverse, the process of hair loss, and combining that with an audience who is perfectly situated for the product to be useful, it was a pretty logical integration to have. And I get paid, plus there's a hefty discount. It's a win-win-win for all parties involved. Big thank you to Keeps for sponsoring the channel. So what is the new development? Well, during my prior investigation, I obtained pretty lengthy audio recordings of almost everyone involved when they agreed to speak with me in voice chat. Almost everyone was perfectly fine with me recording those, or drawing quotes at least, but one user, the user we need to hyper-focus on for today, was not comfortable with his actual voice being uploaded publicly. He said it was fine to record and quote him, etc., but he didn't want the actual audio out there. That's a request that I am still going to honor because I see no reason not to. However, that user, Wanty, has some conflicting quotes that have to be addressed because when looked at in context, these fundamentally change the entire document and make it much more difficult to take seriously. Here's what happened. As I was constructing my previous video, I approached Wanty directly, one of the primary architects of the investigation document, one of the authors listed on it, like literally on the document itself, the one who gathered the Discord evidence for it, and an admin behind the savetitanfall.com website, to ask what the context might be for these screenshots, which appear to show him outright asking for P0358 to disclose information to John Yu, the hacker, aimed at completely killing, the console version of Titanfall. And this happened in January. This contradicted, in my personal view, the sentiment of the document itself. However, these are less important than what happened next. After that, almost certainly spurred by my confrontation, Wanty published a complete log of all his Discord conversations. That's how it appears, anyway, and I applaud this because for someone who repeatedly cited transparency as a primary goal, that was an extremely brave decision to make, which should ultimately, regardless of further knowledge gleaned from that dump, be respected. In these logs were some private messages between Wanty, savetitanfall.com administration, and an architect of the investigation document exposing the Apex hackers, and Dogecore. Dogecore being one of the Apex hackers who was heavily condemned in the investigation itself. I'm just going to show and read them one by one. Wanty, he says, Nope for both, waiting for that to happen. By the way, I didn't say I wouldn't share the convo, just that we didn't get in contact with them yet. Dogecore says, yeah, I know. Wanty replies, how long will it last? This conversation happened on July 4th, by the way, during the hack of Apex Legends. Dogecore says, I have no idea, but I'm making a more permanent solution. Before I was doing it manually. Wanty replies, we are working to update the website so we can snowball with content creators on our side. Dogecore responds, okay, nice. By the way, I can change the description. TF1 is being attacked, so is Apex. This. Wanty, and this is the most important part, keep that in mind, quote, pointing to SaveTitanfall.com is a good thing, though, so we get all the attention in one place, that we can, of course, update. What's your plan? End quote. Remember, the Apex Legends hack incorporated that same text. Dogecore, kinda none at the moment. Wanty responding, would be nice to plan all together. We are currently a small group which gained quite a bit of influence to plan with more impact. Goes without saying, but I will keep a layer of opacity between you and the rest of the group. End quote. Okay, so this all happened on January 4th, and the surface level appearance, right, without having deeper context or even being able to speak to Wanty, because I wasn't able to do that during when I found all this out and when I'm finally doing the audio for the video itself. On a surface level, it would appear that Wanty was quite literally asking Dogecore to incorporate the SaveTitanfall.com domain into the attack. Again, an admin of the website on the same day the hack took place was asking one of the confirmed hackers to put their website somewhere. Seemingly there, but somewhere. It looks bad. Also, in my lengthy audio interview recordings, one of the common complaints from the SaveTitanfall.com administration, primarily Wanty, was that their largest concern, or one of their largest concerns, plural, and frustrations, was that someone, such as the hackers, plural, again, two people, would hide their actions behind the name of someone else, and that they were wrongly impersonated, that's a direct quote, that word, during these events. That does not line up at all with what we see here, but I'm not finished. Here's the next one. Wanty, quote, the exploit you are using has been reported, by the way. Which message are you currently passing on? The email or Save Titanfall? Dogecore responds, what's your time zone? Wanty replies, GMT +2, the same as yours. Dogecore says, well, shit. Wanty says, how long will it last? Dogecore says, I have no idea. Wanty says, not sure if the email will be useful if Respawn can easily patch it. Followed by Dogecore, email was done only for 2 lobbies. I haven't done any recent modifications to servers. All of the new posts are from the old servers, end quote. Last one, but a picture is already materializing here that is very hard to ignore. Wanty says, quote, is that something you can take on a larger scale before Respawn fixes it, end quote. Dogecore replies, sort of. Wanty fires back, is that an easy fix for them? To which Dogecore says yes, and Wanty responds, quote, F, a slang term loosely meaning the same thing as RIP, rest in peace, sort of. He continues, do you have other tricks in your sleeve that can be used another time? Dogecore says, only a server crash. Wanty replies, you think you can find more exploits like this one? Dogecore replies, most likely not. And Wanty says, because a crash makes people mad. This one was brilliant, end quote. Dogecore then states he added a decoy Discord server in hopes of redirecting all the spam. Wanty says some members in the community was saying that the hack of Apex Legends would be doable in Titanfall 2. Thinking face emoji. Your name leaked from Bob, by the way, end quote. And then that's kind of the end of what's relevant. What this would appear to show, lacking further context and barring any tampering, is an admin from SaveTitanfall.com who was angry that they were falsely impersonated and helped construct a 40-page document that very much damaged the reputation of those contained within it, primarily due to their involvement in the Apex Legends hack, effectively coordinating for the personal benefit of SaveTitanfall.com, the hack, and message display itself within the hack with one of the guilty parties. He appears to be happy that it's happening, trying to see if it could be extended even, trying to see if it could be replicated in Titanfall 2, and basically, before constructing a massive document to destroy those involved with the hack at a later date, personally using it to promote SaveTitanfall.com. That, in my opinion, makes it completely impossible to trust anything contained within the report itself, though some of it was in fact true, such as the technical side of the hack being carried out by Mr. Stake and Dogecore. The most charitable interpretation I can possibly think of is that this was done only after Dogecore had already independently executed the hack himself alongside Mr. Stake, but Even then, that would mean that an admin, an active admin from the website, was denying any involvement publicly while being involved, and even pressing to ensure that maximum traffic was fed back into their own webpage. Furthermore, it seems he attempted to strike up a partnership of sorts with Dogecore, who would be, quote, shielded by a layer of opacity from the rest of the group, end quote, and also inquires about, quote, using further hacks like this again in the future. Paraphrased, but yeah, you get the point. The most charitable way I can possibly think about it, and I am trying to do so, to be as objective as possible, is still an optical catastrophe. It started as a document from a self-proclaimed innocent, wrongly impersonated group trying to save the community from a shrouded, manipulative team of coordinated hackers. Now, that group is heavily involved as well, and it's unclear whether this was directly a smear piece, a revenge plot, or something partially legitimate that simply has the world's most twisted and contextually sticky explanation possible. A lot of what the document itself, the original document, contained was, strictly speaking, true, quote, true, in the sense that those things were said and they were real screenshots. But when one of the authors responsible for gathering the evidence itself contained in that report is in this deep, that's a hard sell. That is incredibly difficult to trust, and the whole thing very well might have done more harm than ultimately good in a community where everyone seems to be screaming, I care so much, I just love the community in the game, I care, but everyone still seems to somehow just cause more damage every day. As a postscript update here, I did manage to finally get in contact with Wanty and the other SaveTitanfall.com admins directly as I finished the video. Their statement was fairly succinct and straightforward. They stand by the document's intention and content, but they acknowledge readily that there was a better way to handle these events in the aftermath of publication. I told them, in plain words, that I felt lied to, and that it was difficult to believe in the authenticity of certain statements now from them. They understood this, and it was a short but respectful conversation. I did not hear anything that would change the context of these screenshots other than a claim that it was to dig for information from Dogecore, so take that for what you will. I felt it was important to include their side. I applaud the decision to post these logs for the sake of transparency, but at the same time, with that much data being dumped online for everyone to see, there will be things in those message chains with certain people that should have probably remained confidential. I'm kind of sure of that. I haven't even sifted through all of it yet myself, and won't for quite some time owing to the sheer volume and time-consuming nature for that kind of work. I'm not even done with the Remnant Fleet Discord yet because I have permissions there for all the different channels and it's huge, but I'm plodding along, making progress, and I will probably refrain from more day-to-day updates in the near future in favor of a long-form final capstone of sorts to outline the entire thing in a very cinematic way, hopefully. Perhaps. We'll have to see. But that's it. If you want support, there are links down below. Odyssey, which is a YouTube platform alternative. Locals, $5 a month for completely ad-free versions of all the content. Another gaming YouTuber to check out. Merch, social media, etc., etc. Also the playlist for anyone who made it this far but still hasn't seen the prior versions or all the history for this entire thing. But I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.